Yes, karibu sana Bob Mwiti tena.
Asante sana.
Yes, so we would like you utueleze about mali tuliachia last time, then at least zile maswali watu walikuwa wanataka kuuliza sana and then we can pick it up from there.
Okay, so asante sana Mutembei. I know there's a lot of people watching with a lot of questions, and that's one of the main reasons why we are here today to answer those questions about coming to study here in the US. Now, last time there was a lot of interest. Watu wakiulizia what kind of program someone can come to study. Now, one thing that I want everybody to know that I normally focus on those who want to, I like advising those who want to come and do their masters here. Because I came to the US as a master's student. So I really know the whole process of coming to the US as a master's student. Now, sasa ikienda mambo ya undergraduate or maybe associate programs or PhD, it's very hard for me to be able to give that kind of advice. So I normally advise on anything that is related to studying for your master's here in the US. Okay. Now, from last session that we had, a lot of people are asking, like, what are some of the courses that maybe someone can come and study here? Now, here's the thing. I always say this. Now, if you are coming to study here in the US for your master's, don't come to study something that is not related to what you did, especially for your undergraduate. Because it's going to be very, very hard for you to convince the visa officer that you're actually coming to the US to study as a serious student, someone who is coming to school and actually coming to study. Okay, because nilisema last time, because a lot of our people, they usually use the student visa as a means of just coming, landing here in the US, and then now doing other things other than just going to the school. Okay, and the visa officers at the embassy, they actually know this. They know that's what most of our people out there, they want to do. They just want to come here. They use a student visa to come to the US. They land here, and then they figure things out. They necessarily they don't have to go to school. But now, if you're out there and you're a really serious student, you need to prove to the visa officer that you're actually a serious student. And the only way that you can be able to do that is actually by coming to do a program that is very tied to what you did for your undergraduate and what you are currently doing. Okay, let's say for example, kama sasa wewe uko Kenya, in Kenya you are done maybe, or Africa somewhere, because I think the audience here is, there's Kenyans, Africans and all. I mean, if you did, let's say for example, if you did an accounting degree for undergraduate, you should not be coming for a master's in nursing. Okay, or maybe come even for associate program. We talked about associate program. It's basically a 2-year program that you can do here in the US in a community college. They're usually very cheap to do, but it's going to be very hard for you to convince the visa officer that you're actually coming to study here, because someone who did undergraduate, they cannot really come to do associate program, although that's really what a lot of our people misadvise everybody out there. Okay, so if you have an undergraduate, you can't even also come to do another undergraduate here in the US. Okay, I mean, you can, but it's going to be very, very hard for you to convince the visa officer that you're actually a serious student. Okay, I usually advise, like for example, if you're out there and you really, maybe you're not even a serious student and you just want to come here, you also don't just go blindly. You have to think about these things. Now, because I said the US government, they actually value, master's students, then look for a master's program. Then even if you don't want to do that master's, come here, maybe go to school for 1 semester, then change to a community college if that's really what you want. But going to the embassy and saying you are coming for a community college, you had already done your undergraduate, it's gonna be very, very, very hard for you to get a visa. Okay, so it's very, very important that you understand those things, because I see a lot of people, they waste their money, time and resources. That whole process of coming to the US is very costly. Okay, and now you're doing things, without having a strategy of what you need to do, not doing things the right way. Okay, that one will cost you money, it will cost you time. So you need to know exactly what you want to come and do here.
Oh, so kama mimi sasa nikikuja huko nafanya masters in film.
Yeah, So kama wewe sasa unaona you've been in the film industry, you're a journalist and stuff like that. That is very related to what you are currently doing and what you did for your undergraduate. Okay. Lakini sasa usikuje useme unakuja, let's say for example uko na undergraduate alafu sasa ukuje useme nataka kuja community college ya 2 years, because that's really what a lot of our people are told. Okay, unaambiwa enda kama wewe unataka kwenda US as a student, atafuta community college because they're usually cheap. Okay, sasa hii unaambiwa utafuta community college, uko na degree ya kwanza undergraduate. Now this community college actually ni kama diploma zenye tunafanyanga Kenya ya like 2 years, yeah. If you don't want to go to university, unafanya diploma ya like 2 years. It's the same thing. So community college, you go there and then you get an associate degree. It's called an associate degree. Yeah, 2 years. And these are usually schools that are very, very affordable. They are not as expensive as the other mainstream, like 4-year universities. You understand? But sasa watu wengi sana wanaambianga, okay, you know what? Try a community college, try nursing program, and ufanye nursing huko. Alafu sasa we chukua hiyo alafu you figure things out, because I think nursing is the one that is very popular, in the US. That's what most people are told. Okay, but what I always try to tell people is this: ukienda hivyo, if you go through that route, uende sasa umefanya undergraduate already, alafu unatafuta nursing school hapa ya associate program, utanyimwa visa. Sasa wewe ulikuwa mtu wa camera, sijui journalist, umeendaje sasa ukakuwa wewe unataka kufanya nursing? I mean, of course people change their careers in life, but there's a high chance, because everybody, you see, the thing is, the problem that we keep on making the same mistake every single day. This is the same story everyone uses at the embassy, mostly from Africa. Most of them wanakuja wanasema wanataka kuja kufanya nursing. Most of them wanataka kuja at hiyo level ya associate. Na saa hiyo ni mtu ako na degree. Sasa utaconvince visa officer aje wewe utumii student visa as a means of coming to the US just to come here, and then not go to school, because that's what that really means. Kama wewe ulikuwa umefanya journalism, kuja umefanya undergraduate, kuja fanya masters iko related to that. Hata kama you want to seek a visa just to learn. Okay, I said that I normally like addressing like real students who want to come and study here, but sometimes, these things, it's what it is. Kuna watu wanataka kukuja huku sana, right? Another huku learn. Kama usikuje hivyo tu just like that. If you want, tafuta masters. Because also, I said last time, the US government, actually they value graduate students a lot. Watu wa masters sana. Ukikuja kufanya masters hapa, in fact actually, like for example, unajua mimi sasa nilikuja kama master student. Ukigraduate huku, umalize shule, you have to figure out how now to get into the corporate world, job na kila kitu, yeah? Because when you come to the US as a student, you're on a student visa. Then once you graduate, you have to figure out now, how do you now transition from being a student to a skilled worker and working in corporate America? Not working hizi jobs za chini huku unalipwa $10 unakuwa very happy with it. No. Job mzuri. Okay, in the corporate world. Now, how do you manage that? Right? So, for you to be able to do that as a master student, the master student wanapeangwa a higher chance ya kupata hiyo work authorization visa, because that visa inakuanga na lottery most of the time, because there's so many companies that are applying for it, because it's a company sponsored visa, but there's so many people who want that visa on a yearly basis, but the US government can only be able to give up to 85,000 of those visas every year. Okay, now if you are coming as a master student kwa hiyo lottery, you get 2 chances of being picked. Okay, first chance inakuanga ya undergraduate, unakuwa in that pot. Okay, I don't want to go into details of all that because it might confuse a lot of people, but as a master's uko na another chance ya kupikiwa kwa hiyo lottery once you graduate from school. Okay, so that shows that they value master's students a lot. They want them, they want them to remain here and look for jobs. Okay, Alright, so hata kwa embassy, ukienda embassy as a master student, wanakuheshimu sana as a master student. Okay, si nilikwambia last time I said that me, I was denied visa 4 times, and that was because that was undergraduate. Undergraduate, it's very hard to convince. Sasa kama unashindwa convince undergraduate 4-year course na 2-year community college, it's even harder. It's even harder. Okay, so what you do, unatafuta masters. Unaenda embassy, unawaambia I'm coming for a master's program. Ukifanya hivyo and have the funding. Remember also we talked about these things. Nilisema usiende huko na story ya uncles ama aunties ama cousins ndio wanakusupport for your education, because you're not going to get that visa. And I said, you look at it this way. You see also sometimes some of these things that we do, we keep on repeating the same mistake every single day. We don't reason well. Hata nikuuliza, and I asked the same thing last time. Like, for example, you know, when someone claims that, oh, my uncle is going to pay, like, for example, because if you're coming for a master's program here in the US, it's going to cost you about $50,000 in 2 years' time. Per year, it's about $25,000. And for you to get accepted to a school, and they issue you with a document called I-20, which is the one that you take to the embassy, you must show that you have your $25,000 with you to take care of your education for the first 1 year. It's the same thing that you're going to need to show to the embassy. You have to have a bank statement or something else that shows that you have $25,000 to take care of your education. Sasa most of the people, wanaendanga huko, mtu anaenda anatafuta bank statement somewhere. Okay, this bank statement natafuta kwako Mutembei, nasema unanipea bank statement iko na like 3 million. Naenda na present that bank statement, that bank statement to the school, ndio napewa hiyo I-20, and then also na present the same bank statement huko embassy, nasema this is my uncle. That's usually the language wanatumianga watu sana. Okay, this is my uncle who is supporting me to come and study here in the US. Ndio sasa nilikuwa nauliza last time, which uncle, hata kama amekupenda aje? I have a few nephews back in Kenya, but me, as much as, hata kama ningekuwa na hiyo 2 million somewhere, which I don't even have, right? I mean, even if I had that $25,000 somewhere, right? Honestly, it's very hard for me to pay for someone, you know, like, that's 25,000 per year, that's $50,000 in 2 years, that's 5 million Kenya shillings. It's not, I mean, it's not normal for someone, you know, for someone to pay for someone like that. Your nephew, your niece, whatever. Sasa, imagine, sasa wa unaona, I mean, if you think about it, it's very hard. That's not normal for someone to pay for somebody like that, right? Hata kama unapenda mtu aje, most likely, the only person who can be able to pay that kind of money for you to come and study here is mostly your parent, your mom, your dad. Okay, even brothers, not that much. So most people wanaendanga anasema, hey, you know what? My uncle, my aunties, this is my auntie's bank statement. This is my cousin's bank statement. Saa hii hata unasema it's my uncle's, it's my auntie's bank statement. You guys don't even share the same surname. Mimi naitwa Mwiti, bank statement ya mtu mwenye nasema ni uncle yangu, surname yake ni Mutembei. Sasa, you know, I match. Na watakuuliza hivyo. Because they know. This is what everybody goes out there and start telling them. And hii ni story yenye wanasikianga every single day. Okay, yeah. So if you are serious, don't go with those kind of stupid stories, because you're not going to get the visa. Utawezi your pesa yote, everything. Time, all that. All right. I've said this, and I'll keep on repeating the same thing again. If you want to get a visa, you need to have funding. It's a big, big deal. You need to know where you're going to get the money to show that you're gonna be able to fund yourself. Your story, uncles, aunties, cousins, no. So what you need to do, I say this, what you need to do is, if you know somebody here in the US, let them co-sign a student loan for you. You don't even have to take that student loan, because that one you can only use it once you get here in the US. But come on, because all those people who actually misadvise people, they are already people who are already here. Wanakuambia uko nyumbani, oh, do this and this and this and this will give you this. Waambie, tell them to co-sign a student loan for you. Once you get that co-signed, you'll get the letter from the lender, okay, that give the school that shows that you've been approved for a certain amount of money to study for a certain program here in the US. Okay, the same letter, you take it to the embassy from the lender, and these lenders usually work directly with the school. They usually affiliated to this school. It's not just any lender. Whatever school that you want to go and study, you can check and see which lenders do they work with, and these are the lenders who usually offer student loans to international students. Okay, so now once you get that letter, you take the same one to the embassy. Okay, you tell them, hey, you know what? I have a loan, student loan with me that I'll use to take care of my studies in the US. Unaona sasa, you see now you've bypassed the situation where your uncle was giving you his bank statement. Rather than using that uncle, let them co-sign for you if they are already here in the US. Okay, of someone that you know who is in the US. And you don't have to take that loan, by the way. If you come to the US and you get the money, you don't need the loan because that loan is usually sent directly to the school once you register for classes. That's why now you can start using that loan. Okay, so even if that person doesn't want you to use the loan, you can just ask them just to co-sign for you to get that document now that you'll show to the school and you'll show to the embassy that you actually have an approved loan. So that's how you do it.
And how is that loan? Hiyo loan unasema hiyo loan unasema ya kusoma, how is it given?
Loans. So you see, kama unataka kuja kusoma huku, there is lenders out there that give international student loans. These loans can be unsecured or they can be loans where now you need someone who can co-sign for you. Okay. Co-signing basically means someone is a guarantor. All right. Now, let's say, for example, if you are coming for a master's program, okay, let's say you are coming for an MBA and you are really good. There's lenders out there that can actually give you a student loan, okay, unsecured, nothing tied to it, no collateral, nothing. Okay, and you can use that to come and study here in the US, and you start repaying for that loan. Once you graduate from school, they actually give you up to 6 months of grace period. But they work with specific schools. So you have to be really smart also. They don't just lend to just anybody. Just because you want a loan, they give you. Because remember, this is unsecured international student loan. Someone can be given and then they come here, they don't go to school, and then they've used already the loan, and then they drop out of school, and then the lender doesn't want that kind of a student. They want serious students who are coming to study, and they work with really good state universities, because also they know students who students who end up in that kind of a school, they are most likely very sharp students. These are people who are going to be able to finish school and be able to get a good job. Okay, so you work with those lenders. They are there. In fact, actually, in our company, we work with one of those lenders. They are our official lending partner. They call Empower Financing. Based out of the US. And you don't have to be here for you to be given the loan. You don't have to be here. You start that process when you're still back in your country. The only thing that you need to have is that you need to be coming to a very good schools that they work with. All right. You also need to be sharp, as in you have to be smart, because they'll be looking at that. They look at your for example, what did you do for your undergraduate? What GPA did you get? So see at ulikuwa umeanguka sasa alafu unataka loan hata kupea. That's how they do the underwriting. Okay. On the other hand, kuna hiyo loan nyingine. Let's say, for example, you are not really that good, right? And these lenders, you can't really, you can't fit into that kind of a lender who can be able to lend you unsecured loan. But you still want to come and study here in the US. You get those kind of students a lot. Now, that's when I was saying you can actually get a loan, student loan, that has been co-signed by someone. And that person must be a permanent resident of the US or a US citizen. It doesn't have to be someone that is related to you. You understand? It doesn't have to be that. Okay, so that's why I was earlier saying that rather than someone misadvising you and giving you their bank statement, and most of the time, these kind of advices actually you get them from people who are already here in the US. Okay, waambie wewe mimi nikosainie loan, I just get that offer letter from the lender. Okay, consign for me that student loan. And then now I'll use that approval letter from the lender to get the I-20 from the school, and then also go to the embassy and show that I have an approved student loan. That will have a very high chance of getting a student visa. Okay, but also remember, it's not, when you talk about student visas and all that, it's not just about one thing that will make you get a visa. There's a combination of different things that you have to do right for you to actually get that student visa. You know, remember I said last time, like about 70% of all applicants for student visas from Africa, those who go to the embassy to seek a student visa, they never get that. 70%, they never get that visa. 70%. So for every 10 students who are at the embassy waiting to get interviewed, out of every 10, 7 of them will go home crying because they didn't get the visa. Only 3 of them. Okay. All right. So I mean, I like telling people, don't just go there blindly. Keep repeating the same mistakes every time. Do something about it. Okay, be smart about these things. Don't just take any advice out there, because
naulizaje the many student wanakuwa disqualified juu ya kutumia bank statement mbaya, ama what's really the problem?
See, there are 3 things that normally at the embassy they look at. One, your funding. How are you gonna take care of your education here in the US? Who is paying for it? That's why we say your story akina uncles, aunties, achana nayo. Leave that story alone, because it won't take you anywhere. Okay, so that is one of the main reasons why people get denied visas. Iyo ya kwanza. Who is going to pay? How are you going to pay for your education? Okay, hata kama uko na bank statement ya 10 million, whatever it is, but your story doesn't tie well with what they are looking for, you're gonna get denied. I tell people, having document doesn't mean that you're gonna get the student visa. In fact, actually, the only document that you have to present at the embassy, the one that they look at, is the bank statement or your loan letter or whatever you are using to show that you have the funds. Okay, the other things they don't care. It's basically the story that you tell them. That's why you need to be very good the way you talk. They will explain things because they are looking for that. The US, these guys are very smart by they don't just want anybody to come. The US I mean, for them, they would rather have a very bright student come here in the US. Ata akikataa kurudi, that person is very valuable to the economy. You understand where I'm coming from? Right? They don't just want anybody. Just because you want to come to the US, they don't want you. You have to prove yourself whether you are really, really valuable student or not. That's what they want. And I always tell people, even me, let's say, for example, the US was my own company, mine, okay, that I value so much. I wouldn't want to just bring anybody just because they want to work for me. No. Put yourself in their shoes too. What if, let's say, for example, they allow everybody who want to come and study here. Anybody who goes out there and claims they want to come and study, they're going to get a lot of people, all kinds of people. Watu wakuti kusoma huku wanakuwa gang leaders here, all that stuff. Like what happens, so most of the people who jump over the fence, the border, the one that we have. You guys have heard about all those things. They don't want those kind of people. That's how they need to understand these things. So it's up to you to show that you are really, really serious student who want to come and study here in the US. That's how you're going to get the visa. You don't do that, you're not going to get it. So anyways, funding, one thing. All right. Second thing, what you are coming to study. What are you coming to study? That's what I said. Like, if you are coming for a master's, do a master's that is very, very closely tied to what you did for your undergraduate. Because watakuuliza, they'll ask you. In fact, actually, when you're filling the form for application for the visa, they ask you have to complete those details. What have you done after high school? Okay, you put that information there. And then sasa akianza kuuliza maswali atakuuliza, what did you do for your undergraduate? What have you been doing since then? Maybe you did your undergraduate 2-3 years ago, right? Unakuja kufanya masters hapa. Atakuuliza also, what have you been doing? Mweleze. Sasa akuulize, they ask you, what are you coming to do for your masters? What program? Why? Wauliza sasa, why that program? why are you taking that master's program? Now, watakuuliza another question, how is that program, what you are coming to study for your master's, how is it tied to what you are currently doing and what you did for your undergraduate? Sasa unasikia hapo sasa benye nilikuwa nakwambia stories za community college. Ukikuja sasa story ya community college, I'm coming from a community college. The way when you are someone who has an undergraduate degree, that story will never go anywhere. They will deny you visa. Huh? Utatoka hapo ukilia. And they won't even waste a lot of time. They usually, I mean, visas, it's usually like one minute max. Okay. They will listen to you, they listen to the story, they'll be like, okay, they just give you the red slip and you are done. Sasa unatoka hapo ukianza kulia, oh, these guys, they don't want, they didn't even, I think he had his own moods. I get those feedbacks a lot. Man, huh?
Hata mi I was told that ukienda huko mwenye anakuuliza kama ako na mood baya anakutupanishia everything.
Hakuna moods. Those guys are professional people there to deny people visas. Remember, I think I've said this before, that you see, you know what? The law, the US law, if you are coming for a student visa, okay, the law says that it tells that visa officer at the embassy to assume that you are coming here and you won't go back. That's the law that they follow. Okay, it's the law that they follow. So when ukienda to Apple, when you are at that counter, ready for the interview, that visa officer, whatever they are thinking you are going there, you want a visa to go to the US and not come back. That's how you need to know about it. Now, it's up to you to prove otherwise. Sasa kazi ni kwako on your end. Show that you are actually a serious student who is coming to study here and will come study, and later on, if you want, you'll go back. Now, how do you do that? First of all, you have to be very serious about what funding you're using. Okay, huwezi claim uncle yako, tumejua uncle yako, auntie yako, cousin yako, hawezi kulipia shule. So the moment you say that, because that will be the first question, they won't even spend time with you. They'll just give you a rent slip and they tell you to walk away. Sasa hapo unashinda ukisema huyu alikuwa na moods. Hakuwa na mood. These are professional people there. They know what they want. They've been trained. They know these things. You can't fool them. So that's why it's very, very important that you are really, really prepared. Yes.
Okay, I think people wenye mnasikiza, can you guys help me in asking questions wenye mnataka kuuliza? Meanwhile, we have questions. I think let's go to questions kwanza, ujibu maswali kiasi, then ukimalizia utawapea your closing remarks. Naona Joseph Onono anauliza, how can someone do it? I think it's about coming.
I mean, about coming, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to show that you are a serious student. That's the only way that you can do it, man. Hata kama wewe utaki kuja huku kusoma. Okay, although me, I like advising those who want to come and study. But kama uko hapo, na hata utaki kusoma, usiende hivyo tu because utapata. Show that you are a serious student. At least you have a chance of getting it. But me, I like addressing those serious ones anyways. Those who actually want to come and study, yes, those are the ones that I like giving advice and showing them the way of how actually this needs to be done. Because you need to differentiate. If you're a serious student, you need to differentiate yourself from the other people that get denied visas. How do you show that? Yeah, that is very, very important. If you don't show that, what to end up embassy, you are just like anybody else who comes to the embassy and they get denied. So I see someone here asking, I need what? I need the...
I think sijui is the app ama I think I need the app, sijui ni app ya nini. So sijaelewa hata mimi.
We'll ignore that.
Then kuna huyu mwingine anasema I would like to join.
Some of these questions, I don't know what they ask.
Mwingine tena I wish how can I join? Sielewi what are they joining? Guys, ask irrelevant questions.
Yeah. At least ask something relevant that someone can be able now to help you with an answer.
Yeah.
Okay, there's this one. So someone is asking, so the opportunity to study undergraduate is like you are ruling it out? Kinda, yes. In fact, actually, I usually advise people, hata kama unataka kukuja huku na unataka really kukuja undergraduate, ile ukweli kabisa, don't come for undergraduate. See, I said, I was denied visa 4 times, 4 good times, and it was all undergrad. Undergrad. You have a very high chance of getting denied a visa if you are coming for undergraduate ama hiyo ingine. Kwanza hiyo community college. Hiyo hata hiyo ndio, shida kabisa. Yeah, just see, the thing is, it's all about patience, man. I always say, like, look, it took me 8 good years to finally come here as a master's student. It's patience. It's patience. So what you need to do is just go for your undergraduate. It's even very, very affordable back home. Do your undergraduate there. Okay, back where you are. Take it. Do it. Okay, knowing that you're going to come here for your master's, you have a high chance of getting a visa as a master's student. Okay, these are 4 years, they are not that long. It took me 8 years. 4 years later, it's not a long time. Do your undergraduate there, it's it's less costly. And then also, you see also another thing is, when you come here for your master's or PhD, for that matter, I mean, you're already even someone who is mature. People who are coming for masters, usually people who are like 25, 25 around there, 24, 25, right? This is someone who has already matured. They know what they want in life. You don't even want to come here in the US when you are 16, 18, 19. You come here, there's a lot of things that can really, make you lose your focus when you are that young. Okay, so it's good. Come for masters. Umekula kashida kidogo. Maybe even you've stomached in Kenya for whatever Africa, wherever you are, for maybe a year or so. That's good, actually. That's good. Come here for masters. You'll be able to get that visa. You have a very high chance of getting the visa if you are coming for a master's or even a PhD. Okay, but try to avoid undergraduate. Completely avoid community colleges.
And if someone can afford, see, I think if I want my son to study and graduate there and I can afford, it's okay.
See, if you can, let's say for example, you see, Uko Embassy, by the way, people who have money, they usually don't have problems with getting visas. Most kids, like for example, those kids that you see, those who go to those international schools, those from rich kids, they never have issues getting visas. Trust me, they don't. Because it's their parents who are taking care of their education. If you have money, Mutembe, and your son want to come here for undergraduate, they'll come. They won't be denied. Okay, but now, if you are trying to come, not a person and all that, you are trying to claim all these things, it's going to be very, very hard for you. Yeah, they're able to tell. But now, for example, if you don't have money, which a lot of us see now, most of our people and most of those people who are watching me, these are people who really, they are trying to see how they can be able to come here. It's what it is. And that's why there's all these options that I'm giving about loans and all that. Be smart about it. Get those loans. They know that even those guys who are, even the visa officer themselves, those are usually like, people are not like making so much money, right? They know actually getting $5,000, $50,000, it's not that easy. So if you go there with a student loan of that kind of amount, they see that this is a very, very serious student. They went ahead, they did their research, they got a student loan, and they're actually coming to study. Because they know it's not easy to raise $50,000. Okay. Yeah, but if you are rich and you have the money, most likely you're going to get the visa because you have nothing to hide. It's very easy for you. Just tell, okay, it's my dad. That's it. Okay, so that won't be a problem. Let me see, someone else is asking something here. What if you don't have contact in the US to arrange for the loan? Give something constructive. That can't work. That can't work too. Okay, here's the thing. See, also, when you talk about loans, we've talked about the one that you need a cosigner who must be a permanent resident or a US citizen. Unfortunately, if you don't have that, then there's nothing else you can be helped. Okay, then go claim uncles or whatever. This is the option that you have. Otherwise, I said again, there's student loans for serious students out there. There's student loans for those students who are serious, who are smart, who want to come and study here. I said we already partner. We as a company, we partner with Empower Financing. They offer unsecured international student loans, and these are for really good master students. So if you're good, you're gonna get that kind of a loan. There's also another lender called Prodigy. They also offer unsecured international student loan. Although they are a little bit more, they are not very lenient. They have to look at your credit score. Okay, back in Kenya, if you defaulted your help, the other loan that you used to get for undergraduate, your help, if you did that, then most likely you won't be able to get this other loan. But for Empower, they don't look at your credit score. So you have a very high chance of getting that kind of a loan. It's unsecured. So you have that option if you're a serious student who want to come and study here. Okay, the other alternative is to get someone who can be able to co-sign a student loan for you. And I said that must be a permanent resident or a US citizen. Unfortunately, if you don't have that, then your parents need to have the money to pay for your education. Because if you use now, I mean, I've said this a million times that sometimes you might go there and give the uncle story and maybe you'll get away with it, but high chances of getting denied. There's very high chances of getting denied a student visa, because that's really what everybody says out there. Yeah. Now, someone is asking, how do you pay the co-signed loan for international students? Well, all the loans that you can get as an international student, they usually give you a grace period to repay. You start repaying about 6 months after you graduate from school. Okay, now, you see, the good thing is, if you are taking also a loan, it shows that you are serious, you are coming to study and all that. And then also, you're most likely going to graduate and get a good job. Okay, so once you get a job, you'll be able to repay these loans. So you start repaying 6 months after you graduate from school.
Interest hizo loan inakuanga ngapi, by the way?
So if you get a loan that has a cosigner, the interest rate will be between 4% to 6% interest. If you get unsecured international student loan, because that's a very risky loan, it's about 9% on the lower side. 9 to 11%. But that's the price that you pay. I mean, for someone who is back in Africa, you guys even like even get mortgage of like 15, 17%, I think, right? Like it's a lot. Maybe when I talk about 9%, it may not sound like a lot of money, but still it's a lot. I mean, but it's what it is. So those are the interest rates that you have to deal with. Now, someone here is asking, how many loans have you arranged? Because you are there. Well, for us, we have a program. I think for those who have watched me in this show for the first time, we actually run a very, very good program called the Kenya Airlift Program. And that program, we bring those who want to come and study masters, especially IT masters here in the US. And these are usually brilliant students who want to come and study here. So those who come through the program, we source for their funding in terms of graduate assistantship awards and student loans. So all students who come through our program, we make sure that they get these loans because we have a lender. This is our official lender. We work together, okay, officially with them. They know our students and they get approved for these loans. There's some questions here that are a little bit hard to respond to. Well, now, if you really, some of these questions, maybe I should not even address them because it's going to be very hard for me to address.
Anataka kujua who is a smart student.
Of course, you can ask that kind of a question. I expect you, like, smart student. Basically, what I mean is, you're someone who is serious about studying. You want to come and study here. Ukuzi mchezo. Okay, you are not joking around. You are coming as a real student. Okay, that's the one that I'm talking about. Okay, if you are coming for a master's, it just means that you are good and academically, sharp. That's what it means. Someone is saying, thank you, Bob. You're doing a wonderful job. For a student in Europe who wants to transition to US, is GMAT still a requirement? Okay, there's the issue of GMAT. So if you're out there and you don't really know what GMAT is, so GMAT is an exam that you have to do if you want to come and study a master's program that is related to business. Okay, if a program is being offered by a business school, it could be an IT program actually, like for example, something like business analytics, data science. Those ones are IT programs but they are very business oriented programs. Okay, and they're usually offered by business schools within a university. So if you're coming to a program like that, let's say, for example, an MBA program, right? Maybe operations management, maybe supply chain management, those kind of programs, you'll be required to take GMAT exam. GMAT is short for Graduate Management Admissions Test. Okay, all right. Now, if you are coming for any other program out there, a master's program, you will be required to take an exam called GRE, Graduate Records Examination, GRE. Okay, now, there's a lot of schools, very good schools here in the US will require you to have GMAT or GRE exam. I mean, will require you to have a report for GMAT or GRE exam, okay? But there's still a lot of schools out there that actually don't require you to do GMAT or GRE exam for their programs. You just need to do your research. Okay, I do a lot of videos about, and I analyze a lot of universities here in the US, like by state, a lot of them. I have so many episodes on my YouTube channel, okay, where I analyze different universities, programs they offer. All you need to do is just, if you like a university, go there, check their programs, okay. I list all the programs that they have that are business or IT. And then now you can check what are the requirements for the GMAT or GRE exam. But there's a lot of schools out there that don't require you to do GMAT or GRE exam. A lot of them out there. But if you want to go to really good state universities, most of those universities will require you to do a GMAT or GRE exam. And also, if you want funding in terms of graduate assistantship awards, okay, graduate assistantship award is basically an arrangement where the school pays part of your tuition fees or full tuition fees, okay? And then also they give you a job to work in the department within the school. And they also give you some money for your, living expenses as a stipend. Okay, so most schools, for them to give you that graduate assistantship award, you need to show you're a smart person, like you are, okay? And for that, you need to have a very good GMAT score. Because that way, they don't just dish out those graduate assistantship awards just like that. You have to have that GMAT to show that you are actually good. So they give you the graduate assistantship award. So that's how you do it. But if you really want to set for that GMAT, yeah, there's a lot of schools out there that don't require that GMAT. But if they don't require GMAT, mostly those are not really good schools, unless you don't care about all that. Now, I see someone here. I have an undergraduate in business management finance. Can get visa for master's. Yes. I said, what you've done for your undergraduate, try to do something close to that. Now, for you have a business undergraduate degree, business management finance, right? Come for Master of Science in finance. Come for Master of Science in accounting. Come for Master of Science in business analytics. Okay, and you'll be funded. Dude, there's lenders out there. That's why I keep on saying, like, show that you're a real student, you're good, you have that kind of undergraduate. Yes, come for a master's. Work with the lenders that work with specific schools. You'll be funded.
Kama nataka kuja huko asome the masters and atafute job huko. How marketable is that job and that course?
Yeah, I see. These are questions that a lot of people ask on a daily basis. I get those questions a lot. They're like, hey, Bob, I want to come there. I also want to work. Okay. Now, here's the, and you see me, I like saying things the way they are. Okay, because that way, you'll be able to see the real picture of how things are here. It may not be what you really want to hear. Because see what sana wanataka kusikia. Okay, kuna job huku, utapata kazi and all that, right? But what I always like telling you is, I tell you things the way they are on the ground so that you can make an informed decision, even as you think of coming here. Okay, now, here's the thing. Here's the reality on the ground. If you're coming here as an international student, you're only allowed to work 20 hours a week on campus. All right, on campus, within the school. Okay, now, 20 hours a week, that's like part-time job. Okay. And here in the US, when you're working as a student, those kind of jobs, when you're working in school, because I used to do those jobs where maybe you are working I used to clean the dining hall, I used to cook pizza. Those kind of jobs, they are there. Okay, you work 20 hours a week. They are paying minimum wage. Okay, so you can make money, but you won't. It's not like you're gonna be rich. You see, now there's that. Maybe people feel like akikuja tu afike tuku, and then now they compare what someone is earning back home with what you can earn here, even as a minimum wage. Let's say, for example, minimum wage is about $9, right? So minimum wage of about $9 is about 900 Kenya shillings an hour. Now, when you convert that to Kenyan money, it looks like it's a lot of money when you're back home. You understand? But actually, when you are here, even as a student, you need to pay your rent. You know how much rent is for a shared accommodation for a student? Shared. Living with other students and using, the only thing that you have is your room, but the kitchen, everything else, bathroom, everything is shared. On average, for example, where I live in Tampa, average shared accommodation is about $650 a month. Mutembe'i, paying $650 is how much in Kenya shilling? That's like almost 65,000, right?
Yeah.
65,000. Si unaweza kaa nyumba mzuri sana huko Lavington.
Kabisa.
Kabisa. You understand these things, right? Yes, you'll be living in a very nice home, mansionette, somewhere in Lavington, with that kind of money. But here, that's a shared student accommodation. You understand? Now, if you have to pay $650 for your accommodation here in the US, can you do the math and see what you need? I mean, you need to be making good money for you even to be able to pay that $650. Now, if you're allowed to work 20 hours a week, right? Let's assume. Hold on. You're allowed to work 20 hours a week, right? And assume you're getting paid $10 an hour, and you work 20 hours, and you're getting paid 10. That's $200 a week. That's $800 a month. Remove the taxes, maybe around 150. You are left with how much? $650, dude.
Na sasa niulize, my question is,
able to pay for your education. That will only cover your living expenses, accommodation only.
My question is, as a student, huwezi ongea na management maybe wakakuongezea time ya work, ama it's not allowed?
No, the law, they have to follow the law. This is the law of the US. As an international student, you're allowed to only work 20 hours a week. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I mean, you may ask for a special case where maybe, for example, you want to work off campus, but as long as you're still enrolled as an international student, you still have to put only 20 hours. Remember, you came to study, not to work, man. Huh?
Wow.
It's what it is.
Okay. So kama this course mpaka malize the college ndio anaweza tafuta job, eh?
Yeah, sasa hizo jobs za student, those 20-hour jobs, hizo ziko utapata to, we'll be able to find them in the school. But those ones are just to keep you, maybe to pay your rent, maybe for your grocery. That's it. No more than that. You can't use that money.
Ni shule yenyewe inakuajiri.
Huko shule, unajua huko shule, schools are usually very big here. So within the school, they have a lot of jobs. Unaweza kuwa maybe like, for example, lab assistant wenye wanaangalia watu kwa lab ya computers, maybe librarian, uende unakaa huko unaangalia watu wakisoma, just make sure that things have been put nicely, books and all that. Jobs dining hall when watu wanakulianga, tuck shops where people go and buy some stuff, those kind of jobs. Hizo ndizo jobs zenye ziko huko shule ndani. Na hizo ndizo unafanyanga as a student. Now, but when you graduate from school, now you start thinking of getting jobs in corporate America. See the job tena za nini za kuosha nini kufanya sijui what. No. Okay, so you graduate, utapewa work authorization ya 1 year. Okay, there's other courses and unaweza kukuja kufanya upewe up to 3 years. I talk a lot about these things, by the way, in my YouTube channel and all that. You need to know these things. You need to know how many
Hata atujambia
you're gonna get.
Nimesahau hatujaambia watu wa subscribe by the way, wakuja huko wasome so much about US. Guys, if you want to know so much about kama wewe ni mtu msomi, wale watu wanasoma sana and you want to go there for professional jobs. Zinaitangwa professional jobs ama zinaitwaje?
Yeah, professional jobs, yes. Ukuje, you can use
zile zinalipa vizuri.
Yeah, I always tell people this, if you really want to come and work here in the US, a student visa has a clear path to coming here and working and becoming even a citizen if you want to. Okay, student visa. That's the best visa. Usikuje on a visit. Hapana. Visit visa ukikuja hapa utapewa makaratasi ya kufanya kazi. You are not allowed to work. Even unaona sasa hiyo student visa, it allows you to work at least 20 hours shule, yeah? Visit visa, if you come on a visit visa, you are not allowed to work at all. At all. And a lot of our people, they get misadvice on ambio, hey, kuja to a conference. Oh, wanaitishanga nini, you know, wanaitisha invitation. Oh, invite me, I come on a visit visa. It's even very, very hard to convince a visa officer akupe visit visa. It's very hard. It's like the hardest visa that you will ever see. Unless you have the money. If you are rich, kama wewe mtembei uko rich, uko na pesa, unaenda hapo alafu unapewa visit visa. Hata utaulizwa maswali, utaonyesha tu bank statement yako nini utapewa. But kama hauna kakitu, you don't have anything. Don't try coming for a visit visa. Don't. Come on a student visa. If you really want to come, you see also there's a lot of, there's so many people out there. There's actually people who just want to come and land here and understand that. Okay. You see also people use all kinds of means to just get here. I've seen people wakikufa kwa maji huko wakitaka kwenda Europe. You know, you've seen those, stories. I mean, I understand that because I know what people go through back home. Okay. But now, you see, if you really want to come, alafu sasa utafute job, professional job, yenye unafanya actually corporate world, you're making good money, you're working in an office, kuja kama student, a real student for that matter, right? Kuja, ukigraduate, utapewa work authorization, you use that now, you find employers, even nilifanya, you'll find employers who are willing to sponsor you. Now, sponsorship nayo, hii unataka ukue na some skills, which we can talk for another day. That it's another story by itself. How are you able to get really good professional jobs? Because as ikujangi hivyo, maybe you to handle next in our next session on Wednesday.
Yes.
How do you find those professional jobs? Because
guys,
you can be crying.
Hebu kidogo niwaambie on Wednesday we will be having Bob hapa. And I think let's have this topic here, how to get these professional jobs, because hiyo kitu inasumbua watu sana. Mtu anajiuliza, why should I come there, a waste of 5 million kwa studies peke yake, and then how will I get the job? Because tunataka watu wakikuja hapo wakimaliza wakuwe na jobs pia, at least wanaweza kusimamia. Yes, and I think that's a very good topic because hakuna mtu mi singetaka kusacrifice my 5 million kuja huko nisome then nirudi hapa without anything. It doesn't make sense.
That's the thing. And that's actually, that's why I always advise people, right? Usikuje hapa, uspend your pesa yote, alafu urudi. Come on, man. There's a lot of, I mean, seriously? Mi hata nalanga watu wakitaka kurudi hata nashangaa. How now? How? Why would you spend that kind of money? Alafu sasa, you go back to Kenya and start, having the same problem that you used to have. Alafu sasa unaanza kusema, oh, I wish I knew and all that. But you see now, it's not that easy. It's not that easy also to get into the corporate world. That transition, it's very hard. It's very hard. It's very hard if you are not prepared, if you don't know exactly what you need to do. Okay. If you don't know, it's going to be very hard for you. And that's what a lot of our people, here in the US, a lot of our people actually, they came as international students. They were not able to transition now. They came wakatumia pesa yote nini. But actually, as we speak, they don't have good jobs. So many of them, people don't talk about these things. Okay. I said this, like, I don't know whether I mentioned this last time, but here in the US, those people make most money, they're Indians. Unajua Mwindi before these guys get here, they already know their path. And that's what we need to be doing. That's what I always try to tell people. Know what you're going to become once you're here in the US. Know everything. Know that whole process of coming to America to study and getting a job. Don't come here blindly. I came blindly. But me, I'm a very inquisitive person. Me, I don't just sit there and wait for things to happen. Mimi nilikuwa naangalia wa India. How are these Indians getting jobs? Because Wahindi wote wenye tulikuwa nao class moja ya masters walipata kazi. Mimi nilikuwa na struggle bana. Even the same students, the Kenyan students that I knew, Kenyans and Africans in general, the ones that I knew in my school, all of them, not done a good job. Hakuna hata mmoja alikuwa na kazi mzuri. Wote walikuwa na struggle. Lakini Wahindi wote, all Indians that were in my class, wote walikuwa wanamaliza, wanapata kazi. Unasikia anafanya as a systems analyst. Hizi kampuni kubwa kubwa. Nikaanza kujiuliza, how is it that these guys can get jobs? We in the same class, same master's program. Me, I'm struggling. Do you know me? I had even to attend school by one semester because I couldn't find a job. I couldn't even find an internship. I started asking myself, how come these guys are able to get these jobs? Ndio nikaanza kujua. So, nikaanza kujua wanakuwa trained. You see, for you to get a good job in America as an immigrant, kama wewe ni student, remember I said those jobs you are sponsored by a company. Kampuni ndio inakulipia hiyo visa ndio ukae. So you have to show that you are very valuable because see, the US government requires these companies, for example, my company here, if I want to file work visa for someone, I have to show that I'm filing for you because I can't really hire an American with the same kind of skill that you have. I mean, I have to show that I can't find an American with the skill that you have. So how do you show that you have those skills? Wewe sasa wewe umekuja kutoka Kenya, hakukuwa na any experience anything. Ulifanya undergraduate ukakuja kufanya masters peke yake uko na MBA. That's only academic skills. Hizo hazitakupeleka anywhere. That's really what I used to have. That's why I was struggling also. So you need job skills. Here job skills, it's everything. No one cares about what master. Even now I always say this. My masters, by the way, my masters ilinisaidia tu hiyo connection ya Wahindi because that's really how I ended up getting into the tech industry. Because it's because of the guys that I was in the same school with. Wahindi wakanionyesha venye nitaingia kwa IT. But apart from that, what I used to make or used to earn, it was not because of the fact that I had a master's. No, it's because I had the skill that Americans need. America needs that Americans don't have. That's how I was able now to get a job yenye ilinisponsor nikaweza kukaa huku. Ukikuja huku tu kama student just like that and you don't have any job skills, you have no idea how you're going to transition now to working in corporate America. You're not going to go anywhere. You're going to be here struggling. You're going to be here like 20 years down the line. You have nothing to show for. There's so many of our people here with nothing. They don't talk about things. They don't even come back home because they can't even afford the fare to take them back home. And these are people who came as international students. It's because you don't talk about these things. It's not everyone who comes here, they make money, but you have to be very, very smart about it. You have to be very strategic in the way you do things. And that's really what these Indians do. That's why they are making very good money. Here in the US, hao ndio wana pesa, hata wazungu wananga pesa kama Mwindi. That's the reality. I'm telling you, white person don't have as much money as an Indian person. They make so much money. And it is because they come prepared. Wahindi wanakutanga, Wahindi hata si ati wanakuwa na pesa huko India. In fact, actually, India, they are very poor also. But back in India also, they support education. They have student loans. Kutoka India. Student loans, they get loans from there to come and study here in the US. Back in Kenya, we don't even have anything like that. I don't think there's any African country that actually supports people who want to come and study here in the US. Nothing, not even one. All right, not even one. That's why even you have the Kenya Airlift program to be able to take care of that because there's a lot of brilliant people out there who actually want to come and study here. There's a huge pool of those kind of people. A lot of them were too brilliant. Walipita, wakafanya undergraduate, so many of them. They do want to come and study here in the US and go to school and finish and get a good job. So many of them out there. But our governments, they are not supporting that. They have nothing. They have nothing. So these Indians, they get all that. They are supported. They come here. They do those job skills. Job skills is basically where you are being trained on job scale, not academic, job scale. And also that's really what we focus on in our programs. You have those training programs. Tuna training watu wenye wanakuja kusoma na sisi. Tunawa train on the side as they pursue their masters. Sasa ukimaliza ndio sasa usikue hapo hauna kitu ya kuonyesha you have the skills. That's how you're going to get a job. Tutaongea that in our next show. I'm going to tell you exactly how you need to go about that, step by step, so that you know if you are really, really serious student who want to come and study here and actually live and work here and live legally. Because there's a lot of people here in the US, they don't have the documents. We don't talk about those things, but it can happen to you. And you don't want that to happen to you. If you are really, really serious student, just come the right way, do things the right way. You're going to be able to get papers through employment. Me, I got my green card through employment. Kampuni inakufailia inakulipia. Because you have the skills Americans don't have. If you don't have that, hakuna kampuni itakulipia. Why should I spend money for my company for someone who has skills that I can get from an American? Why? It doesn't make sense. So unless you understand all these things, that's when you will be able to successfully come to the US. You understand everything. That whole process, you'll get somewhere. You'll get here and you'll be successful. Ukikuja blindly, hata ukifika huku, utakaa huku 20 years down the line, you have nothing to show for it. Believe me.
Okay, I see time imeenda sana, but I would like kujibu Alois, Mercy.
Yeah, let's answer that last one because I can see you've already done 1 hour.
Unaweza wajibu nini haraka tujibu at least 3 questions hapa.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, Alois, I'm a nurse. How can I get to study work same time? You said again, working is 20 hours a week. That's the only work that you can do. Okay, if you're coming as a student, if you're already a nurse, maybe I'm assuming you've already done your undergraduate, come for a master's. It's gonna be very easy for you to get the visa.
Anauliza kama anaweza pata study permit and work permit at the same time.
Study permit is basically a visa that you got to come and study. Work authorization is basically as when you come as a student, they allow you to work on campus. So you can be able to do that, but you can't work off campus. You're not allowed to work off campus unless there's a time maybe you can be able to ask for work off campus, but still you're given 20 hours. It's not more than that because you are coming to study, not to work. Okay, Marcy is asking, how can you also address how to get student visas after refusal? Yeah, that's a very good one, actually. I think that this one requires maybe another day of discussing.
Yeah, we can. Mercy, utakuwa live on.
Mercy, can you please? Maybe we should handle that next session.
We can do this on Sunday. Yes. On Wednesday we discuss that of the professional
jobs. Yes, yeah. This is a very, very good topic to discuss.
Mercy ukue hapa on Sunday upate the full information. For now, maybe unaweza pitia sijui.
Yeah. I mean, you can still also reapply for a student visa, but I see a lot of people making the same mistake. Wanaenda, unajua huko wanaendanga na my emotions. Wamenyimwa visa, hakuwa amenipenda, she was in a mood, blah blah blah. Sasa, so the next thing that they do, wanaenda wana reapply, wanaenda wanajaza application, wana schedule appointment again within a few weeks. Nothing has changed. You understand? Like people, I don't understand, man. We need to change the way we do things. You are basically going to the same visa, same appointment. Nothing has changed in terms of what you are bringing to the table. You're basically the same person who was denied visa last time. You are thinking maybe I'm gonna get a different person, or maybe I'm gonna get when she's in a better mood. I told you, please take those guys as serious people, professionals who are there to do their job. No one comes there with their moods, whatever. No. They are there to do their job. Okay, it's you who needs to do your work on your end. Don't blame these people. Okay, so just to answer our question a little bit, something needs to change in your application. Sasa kama wewe ulikuwa unataka kuja huku community college ulikuwa na degree. See, already mess up. You said already you have a degree. Ulikuja kwa community college wakakunyima. Utachange hadi hiyo story. You understand? Utaenda to the same story. It's gonna be the same outcome. Okay. All right. But let's say, for example, the issue of funding. Right? If it's funding issue, you can actually now use those other options that we've talked about. If you watched this video earlier, right? We've talked about those other options. Use that option. But don't go immediately. Maybe defer your academic maybe for the next intake. Take time to apply for these loans. Get to understand also how these loans work and everything. Don't rush things. I said, man, you need to have the patience. It took me 8 years to actually figure it out. 8. Sasa wewe unashindwa na moja. One visa denial. Me, I was denied 4 times. Sikuwa na learn. Don't do the same mistakes, man. Huh? Don't do the same mistakes. Anyways, next one. Is it easy to come to America to do masters? I'm in a process. Yes, it's easy. What about someone who does hair and beauty? Me, I don't know anything about that. Mostly I focus on IT business related master's programs.
Yes, sawa naona Masi atakuwa next Sunday, so we are good. I think you can do your final remarks tumalize, yeah. Then on Wednesday wajue tunaongea about professional jobs vile zitapatikana.
Yeah. So to end this, all I want to address everybody who's watching me is, for me, I like helping people to really come to the US, because the right way is actually the way that will be successful for you. Okay.
This last question I think inakufa kwako sana.
Yeah, Mili. I want to come for my master's in computer science. That's good. Those are the kind of students we want. Mili, go to our website, Upstack America. Go there. You'll see all kinds of stuff that we have, some amazing stuff for really brilliant people like you. Okay, to our master's computer science. That's really what we want. Okay, go to our website, www.upstackamerica.com. You'll find all the information that you need about us helping you to come and study here and actually get a good job here in the US. Yeah, so just to finish, nilikuwa nasema, so me, I like giving the right information. It may not be the information that you actually like, okay, because you see, good information is usually not very popular, and it's okay. It's okay. All right, but I know there's a lot of really serious people out there watching me, and they really want to come and study in the US. They really mean it, and they want help, and even come here and actually get a good job. And that's really what I focus on. So I might be here, but then again, I might not be able to address your concerns or issues. And it's just because you don't really fit in what I'm trying to, what I want, the kind of student that I'm actually trying to help. Okay, if that's the case, that's fine. So, it's okay. You can't get everything, from everybody. So maybe there might be someone else out there who can actually help you. There's a lot of people actually out there discussing about how to come to study in the US, how to live here, and all that. There's a lot for everybody. Okay, but all I want you to ask you is just listen to me. The way, whatever I give information is basically for really those serious ones who want to come and study here in the US.
Thank you so much, Bob. Guys, we'll be having Bob on Wednesday. Atakuwa anaongea about professional jobs, how to get them there in America, the master's courses that we are supposed to take. At least watu wapate jobs mzuri. For now, because I can see we are past 9 something, we almost 1 hour plus 10 minutes. Let's call this off mpaka next time, because I'm coming back with another live.
All right. Thanks so much. Goodbye.
Thank you so much.